One of the best ways to decorate your walls is by using wallpaper. But how much wallpaper do you actually need? Well, this is what this video is about. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to measure your walls for wallpaper and also how to get a cost estimate of how much your wallpaper is going to cost. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Paris and we're all about finding you a home and keeping it cozy. So please subscribe to the channel and also turn on the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new videos. So some of the reasons why wallpaper is so popular is because you have great colors to choose from. You also have different patterns and also different textures. Again, wallpaper is an effective way to decorate your walls even if you live in a rental because it easily comes off when you want to remove it. So there's three things that we consider when we want to know how much wallpaper you're going to need. Number one is the dimensions of the walls that you want to cover. Number two is the roll size of the wallpaper, and number three is the pattern repeat of the wallpaper, and I'll show you what all these things mean. First thing that we want to do is to actually measure our walls. So what you need, you're going to need a tape measure, you're also going to need a pen and paper and maybe a calculator or your phone. You can use that to calculate the square meters. In order for us to be able to measure our walls, we are going to get the total combined width of our walls and then we're going to multiply that with the height. If this was the area that I wanted us to measure, so assuming that I have 3 walls, we're going to take wall 1, wall 2, wall 3, and then we're going to measure the width of the first wall, the width of the second wall, and then the width of the third wall, and then we are going to get a total of that. So I've measured my walls here and I have the first wall is 3.23 meters, the second wall is 2.60 meters, and the third wall is 1.8 meters. So my total is 7.63 meters. If you had one wall, you just take the width of that wall and then multiply it by the height. So now I want to go to my height. So my height for this wall is 2.7 meters. Yeah, you just take your tape measure and then you measure from top to bottom of the wall to get the height. And then now we want to get the square footage of our total wall. So you take our combined width, for me here is 7.63 meters, and then we take the height, which is 2.7 meters for this, and then you can see that our area is 20.6 square meters. So you have to round this off, so don't use the points when you're giving your square meters, just round it off to the next whole square meters. So I have 21 square meters. So we are done with getting the dimensions of the wall. So the next thing that we want to consider is the roll size of the wallpaper. Most wallpapers come in the size of 0.5 meters. Yeah, so from end to end is around 0.5 meters, and then the length is about 10 meters. If you multiply that, then you get that one wallpaper roll will cover approximately 5 square meters. So normally at the back of the wallpaper when it is new, that is where you're going to have this signage. It's going to give you the length and the width, and then you have in approximation what that is in terms of square meters. The next thing we need to cover is the repeat pattern. Let me show you what that means. So for this wallpaper that I have, I don't know if you can see that, you can see some design on the wallpaper. So it's really subtle. So when we are looking at the wallpaper, we look at the pattern so that we can be able to see how often the pattern repeats, and that will give us a sort of estimate of how much waste there is going to be. So on my machine here, I got you a sample of a wallpaper, and then you can see that what I have in the white square, that is the pattern. So you just look at the wallpaper and you see what is the prominent pattern there. That is then you look at that pattern and see how often it repeats. So you can see the prominent pattern here, and then if I go to the next one here, you can see this is a bigger pattern. So for this one, we're going to have more waste. When you're doing the pattern, you don't really need to know this. Your vendor already knows how to calculate this. So if we were to calculate my what I'm going to need for my wallpaper roughly without even going to the patterns, then you see that I have 21 square meters divided by the 5 square meters. What we said that a roll covers roughly 5 square meters, and you see that I have 4.2 rolls, but we don't measure the wallpaper in decimal points. You have to call it an entire roll of wallpaper because it's not sold as half of a roll. So roughly I'm going to need 5 rolls of wallpaper for these particular walls. So in terms of pricing, the wallpaper is costed per roll of wallpaper. So for example, you can have this roll of wallpaper costing 1500 Kenya shillings, or you can have some of them costing maybe 2000 per roll of wallpaper, and then the installation cost is usually 500 Kenya shillings per roll. So for mine, we have calculated and seen that we need 5 rolls of wallpaper. So if it costs me 1500 per roll and 500 Kenya shillings to install, that is 2000 Kenya shillings, then you'll see that it is going to cost me 10,000 Kenya shillings. If I get a roll for 2000 Kenya shillings and installing is 500, then you'll see that it is going to cost me 12,500. So when you're doing your calculation, you don't need to necessarily subtract the doors or the windows, because this is going to be catered for by your wastage. So let me know in the comments down below if that was helpful. If you need help with installing your wallpaper, in knowing where to source for the wallpaper, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll ensure to hook you up with only the best. Now subscribe if you haven't. In the meantime, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.